New severe thunderstorm warning out. Benton County again. Same place that was hit before. Let's get to radar, show you what's going on, where it is. Weak rotation on this storm too. Southwest side of Benton County over Siloam Springs. I have the Siloam Springs camera. I was keeping an eye on it. There it is there. That's looking westbound. Doesn't look that impressive, but the radar is going to tell a better story here. So first wide view. Nothing in Fort Smith, nothing in Waldron, nothing in Russellville. Got some garbage out there around Oklahoma City. All right. This stuff, by the way, that stuff out here gets here around 2 or 3 in the morning. Let's get into the stuff that's severe right now. So, severe thunderstorm warning out for northwest Washington County as well as Benton County. So, we're talking West Siloam Springs. This just moved over town. The heaviest is out there along Country Club Road, North Hico Street, and Sherry Whitlock Drive, North Progress Avenue, East Tahlequah Street. And that's tracking northeast up 59, gets into Gentry, Springtown. We also have that warning still in effect here in Bentonville. I don't see anything that really bothers me here with this. It's a lot of heavy rainfall. That's out there along Bella Vista Road, Northwest 5th Street, Northeast J Street, J where it meets Tiger. This is out there towards Crystal Bridges. Heavy rainfall on North Walton coming from Southwest 2nd Street, which is right in there. So McDonald's going to be right there. And then the Chick-fil-A, which backs up onto Walton. Every Chick-fil-A always backs up onto the road. It's like they need a half a mile for a drive-through line. I don't get it. I mean, it's good, but it's not that good. Ooh, I'm gonna get hate mail after that one, right? All right, so Northwest 12th, we have some rain. There's Tiger. That's moving northeast up towards Sugar Creek. It looks like got another cell there. Where's this one located here? That's out around Sugar Creek and Price Coffee Road. Okay, know where that is here on the north side of 49, running out towards 72. If you zoom in towards Bella Vista here, so here's Bella Vista Way. It looks like Dartmoor, Mountain Drive, Northwest Lightning Lane, Blowing Springs Road, RV Park Road. That was really unique, guys. That's moving northeast towards Tennyson Lane. So north well, actually, it's anywhere east of 71 on Bella Vista is where the heaviest stuff is. And in Bentonville, the heaviest is going to be on the north side of town. So I'm going to zoom in a little more. Here's Central. There's Main Street and Central. A little bit closer look there. They've closed off all this stuff here because they're building like 8 hotels. I think it's just 3. But still, here's Central and Northwest A Street. I actually work on Southwest A right over here. Zoom out a little more. Actually, that cell's moved over now, so it's really out of the downtown Bentonville area. It's moving more to the northeast. P Ridge, though, man, getting some heavy rain. That's along Hazleton Road, Weston Street. There's Slack Street, North Curtis Avenue. So that runs north, and then out towards 72. So the high school's here on the north side of town. All this stuff is moving in off of McNelly out towards the high school in P Ridge. Back to the southwest. This is the one that's actually a bit more concerning. The one that's over Pea Ridge and Bentonville is just, I mean, yeah, it's a storm. It's severe. It could have some hail. Doesn't impress me that much. This one is a little bit troublesome just because it's got that hook shape to it. So what I want to do is go to analyst real quick and let's look at this sucker a little bit closer and see what it's doing. I'm zooming. You know what? There's actually is some rotation in that thing near Pea Ridge, right there. Interesting. The one to the southwest has weak rotation near Siloam Springs. You can see the red outbound and the green inbound winds with 1-inch hail. And then, of course, you can see that one near P Ridge. Let's see. Let me back it up a frame here. That's interesting. So that's east of the Metfield complex between that golf course and P Ridge. Hmm. I'm going to check this out a little bit closer here. Be right there. Right along It'll Do Road. Isn't there like a collision repair thing that's there? They just built a Casey's too over you guys can't see it. There it is. In P Ridge. Kind of in this area here, close to It'll Do. Harper Lane, Parnell. This is tight. This is some tighter rotation. I'm curious to see what this next scan is going to look like. Let's see here. That would move up towards 94, towards Hayden Road, really kind of west of the high school in P Ridge. I think a new scan's about to hit, and I'm gonna see what it looks like here in a second, and then we'll zoom in. If it goes away, it's not a big deal at all. If it stays persistent, that could be a little bit more of a trouble. Did not update yet, not yet. Let me go back to the south. That rotation to the south is also very broad and weak out over Martin. That's east side of Siloam Springs. Not that impressive right now. It actually looks more impressive on reflectivity. I mean, you can see a little bit more of a hook there, right? Back to velocity. I think the scan just came through, didn't it? Zoom out here. Let's see what we got. Probably help if I wasn't zooming all the time. I'm one of those people that like the computer's running slow, and it's like I've hit enter 50 times and clicked the mouse 12 times. Like that's the way it is. Yeah, it did come through. It fell off. I don't see anything there anymore. The problem too that we run into is the Doppler radar is really high up in the atmosphere in East Benton County. I found this out the hard way with some of the tornadoes that we've had over the last couple years. I know the beam shoots over them, so it's hard to get a feel for it. But that cell right there, it doesn't. That looks nasty. That's the one. Let's look here. That's this one here. So what I'm going to do is show you guys what it looks like here with radar, right? So there's our cell. Hang on a second. Here's our cell. You have the hill on the north side. This is coming up towards X and A. A lot of hill with that. Is that going to move over the house? Let me see here. Ooh, do you guys see the little right turn on that? Let me zoom out. To me, that kind of looks like it's morphing into a supercell. All right, let's investigate this one a little bit more. Wide view first. Nothing going on in Fort Smith. Nothing's going on in Poto. Nothing's going on in Salisaw, Clarksville. Nothing. All the action tonight is Fayetteville North. So we're talking a cell near Johnson, but it's this one. That little thing there has kind of got me a little bit concerned. I'm going to tilt the radar up. So I'm going to look and see if it's spinning above. I know it's spinning weakly at the surface, but I'm curious if it's higher up. So I'm looking for that mesocyclone. I don't see anything really well established. But boy, has it got that kidney bean shape to it, doesn't it? The rotation would be right there. And there's 1-inch hail indicated on radar. That's going to come right over X and A. I mean, this is come. Boy, has it got that kidney bean shape to it, doesn't it? The rotation would be right there. Radar. That's going to come. I mean, big time. Radar's showing 1-inch. I think it's closer to $50, y'all. I bet we get 2-inch hail out of this, especially near Springtown and Highfill. Is that a new warning? I think it is. Yep. So the new severe thunderstorm warning takes that cell across the county. It'll make more sense here when I go back to the radar. So I'm going to zoom out here. See the little yellow box here? So this is the new warning here. It pretty much bisects right through Benton County. Includes downtown Rogers. So you guys in Rogers are going to get this one. Whereas the last one was more towards the north side of town. This one's going to be right over town. And it is showing some supercellular characteristics. But one of the things that I like about this is the fact there's a storm over Town. That should mess with the inflow to the storm. So hopefully that weakens any chance of any rotation. This thing, actually, they've reported 75-mile-an-hour winds with this. Not good. And ping pong size hail. That thing's moving northeast at 45. So it's a pretty a quick moving storm here. Let's go back here and look at this thing. So this is where we're going to watch for rotation. Southwest side, right? I can do 2 panels if it doesn't confuse you too much. Hang on a sec here. So on one side, I'm going to show you the rotation. And then once you want to do 4, we can go super ballistic on this, y'all. Now we're really confusing. Boy, news consultants would love that. So we have reflectivity here. So this shows us the heavy rain and hail. This shows us the wind. So I'm looking in this area here where the little triangle is, and I'm matching it up over here. So what I can tell you though is the outbound winds are not as strong as the inbound, which tells me that this thing probably is not capable of producing a tornado right now. If these two tighten up though, that's when you get a little bit more concerned about whether or not this is going to do anything, to tighten up a little more, to maybe put down a tornado, to put down some spin. Right now it's not there. I do see a lot of large hail though coming into Heifel. I would not be surprised at all if it's larger than quarter size. I'll switch over to the hail parameter here. That hail is coming into Heifel near Springtown. Again, on the left, you're looking at the velocity, or sorry, the reflectivity image where the rain and the hail is the heaviest near Springtown. On the right side, I'm going to change it over, go back to velocity. So we're looking at wind speeds with this. Stronger winds are closer to Siloam Springs on the southwest side of the storm. Northeast side of the storm is where that the hail core is. If there was rotation, it would be right here. If I put a little marker there, a little red dot, can you guys see it? And then you match up the red dot on the right side of the screen. The greens and reds are not coupled. So that tells me there's not a tornado risk at the moment with this storm. If I tilt the radar up, let me tilt it up on reflective or on velocity. I mean, there is a mezzo there. It's spinning, but it's not anything that's overly impressive at the moment. I don't like how it's isolated though. I think when you get these isolated storms like that, they can really access more of the atmosphere and ingest more of it and can sometimes cause some bigger problems. Again, nothing out west. When are you going to get stuff in Fort Smith? Probably 2 or 5 in the morning. That stuff's going to, I mean, we got several waves, guys. It's just going to be on and off rain all weekend. Oh, there's a new hail report that came in at 3/4 inch. That's about dime size hail in Siloam Springs. That was at 0258. So about 12 minutes ago when that moved through, that came in. That's a public storm report moving right over Heifel. It looks like. Wow, it's really 10 o'clock right now, isn't it? Man, day went by quick. So Heifel and Springtown moving to the northeast. We've got a hail risk with this. I'll try to pull up a camera that's over there. You want to see if David Latanzio's Jack Link's wild weather camera's up? Stand by. Pop. There you go. It is. It's better than my camera that's on my roof. I'll see if I can pull that up next. This is looking westward though, from out there towards Scissortail and Shadow Valley. Kind of, you know where that red light is that everybody gets stopped at in the morning. It's kind of in that area. But that's looking west, so the rain started to pick up. I think this actually does probably go right over um, Mr. David's house there as it moves in. Let's go to. Actually, I think I'd rather see. Try this. Go wide view. Let's animate this thing so we can see where this is tracking. Boy, this is hauling, guys. It's like 45 miles an hour. It's big time. It's fast moving. It's got a hook on it. I mean, it does. I hope it doesn't do anything. Watch one more animation here. Yeah, that's a supercell characteristic on that. So this is going to be one we need to watch as it moves through Benton County here, especially Rogers, um, coming up in about the next 15 minutes or so. This is about to move over to Lewis' house, so it's going to be kind of fun here. Both the dogs are inside. My son's got one of his friends over, and I think they're playing. I don't know if it's Fortnite or Minecraft or I don't know. I don't even. I probably should know. It's probably not good parenting to not know. Call of Duty, that's another one. Anyway, power goes out though. We're still gonna have internet because I put this on backups this year. Last year I learned from that lesson. I didn't put these lights on backups. Actually, I did, but my daughter's iPad died, so she took the battery backup system. That's fine. You got if it dies, you don't need to see my face anyway, as long as we got the internet going and we've got weather data coming in. So I'm looking at it near Heifel. Let me check for velocity on this again. They're spinning there, guys. It's right there. South part of Heifel, there's First Street. Here's 264 in Heifel. There's that curve. So you got the Dollar General right there. You got um, Black Howler Brewing right in here. I think El Pueblito. Didn't they open up a Mexican restaurant there too? So that's there near Heifel. That's moving northeast. That's where that little pocket of rotation is. It's not particularly strong. It's not anything that jumps out at me. But I do think it's something to watch just given the overall structure of the storm. Here's a new sweep right there. Let's zoom in on it real quick before we change products. So the weak rotations over West First Street, East First Street, and Bryant Road, moving north of 264. That's going to put this. Man, this is coming right over X and A. See a little circle right there in the middle of the screen. So that's that little drop off, kiss and fly zone. My wife hates it because every time I go to the airport, I can't help but quote airplane. One of the greatest movies of all time. And I know there's millennials watching. You guys don't understand it. It's okay. When we were kids, we used to cut off, we didn't do it, cut them off. We used to carry dead rabbits' feet that were dyed in our pockets. I told someone that was in their 20s the other day. They lost their mind. What did you do? I was like, it was a good luck charm. You carried rabbit's feet in your pocket. Um, Nowadays, kids think that's gross. And looking back at it, I kind of think it was too. We had dead rabbit's feet in our pockets and we put them on our keychains and they were for good luck. I don't know what the point of that was. But I did think it was weird looking back at it because I had one of those. I think I had them at the same time I had those troll dolls, those little naked trolls that had like the rainbow hair. That was weird too. It was weird in the 90s. Slap bracelets. East of Heifel, West First Street. I'm curious what the next scan looks like, but while we're waiting on that, let's go to Analyst. And it gives me a little bit more data. Let's see here. Wide view first. There's the storm. Radar showing 1 inch hail. I bet it's bigger than that in that little black area. I bet it's closer to ping pong size. That's north of Heifel. Guys, this is coming into Bentonville. We're going to get this stuff right in Bentonville as it moves in. So big heads up for you guys. If you hadn't parked the car in the garage, it's already raining. You're probably already screwed. But once it moves in, quarter size or larger, as a general rule of thumb, is going to dent your car. And there is quarter size in this, although it did come down in the last one to just under 1 inch. It's actually 0.99, so it's smaller than quarter by barely. Um, let's go to relative velocity here. The blue doesn't count. Range folding. That was the first one. Yeah, I mean it's not wrapped up. I'm not complaining. I don't want tornadoes, but I do think the hail core is there. The wind risk is there. Not real high. Not real high with hail. Not, I'm sorry, not real high with wind or tornado, but high with hail as far as the threat goes for this storm. We go back over here to this radar source. Same thing here. Broad rotation, nothing tight. Um, Reflectivity. It looks bad. It looks worse on the radar presentation is actually worse than what's going on inside of it, which is what's great about Doppler radar because you can actually see the winds and with dual pole you can actually see the debris in the storm. Not sure if you guys listen to 94.9. My good friend John Williams is on there, and I've been doing some radio with him um, every other week or so. That guy's been in radio since, well, I was going to say before I was born, but it's not because I'm old now. He's been in radio a long time. And we were talking about severe weather earlier this week and about the advancements in Doppler radar. And really, the biggest advancement, I think, is the dual pole radar and the ability to see lofted debris because we can call tornadoes before anybody reports them. So back in the day, you'd have to be like, a storm spotter would be like, hey, there's a tornado. And then the weather service like, a tornado and tornado. Now, because the old beams were horizontal, right? So the new beams are vertical and horizontal. So you actually get a size of what's lofted in the atmosphere. So you can tell if it's debris or not, or if it's just raindrops, or if it's hail, or if it's snow. You can tell all that stuff with radar now. That's probably been the biggest advancement I've seen, along with something called SAILS, which is a supplemental low-level scan. So the radar beam does what's called volumetric scans. So it'll scan low level, up, up, all the way to the top, right? So like it's slicing a snow cone from the bottom up. Well, what happens with the sails is it slices the bottom, does a layer, then goes back to slicing the bottom, then does another layer, then goes back to the bottom. So we're getting low level data faster. Why is that important? Low level data is going to tell us where the tornadoes are. So the fact that that dual pole came around with NOAA and they installed these everywhere has really changed weather forecasting. I remember when I started in TV back in 2001, we had to wait like 6 or 7 minutes for a radar update. It was such a long time. And then 4029 came along with their super Doppler, super duper Doppler. Um, that was back when Steve Gibbs was there, who's a friend of mine now. Still talk to Steve. You know, he's in finance. He works in Arvest. He does investment banking. Anyway, I still talk to Steve quite a bit. But and then it was Charles Salser, and then my good buddy Drew Michaels, who's up in it's actually Drew Burgoyne's. I don't have a fake name. It's Garrett Lewis. It is what it is. But they made him change his name because TV makes you do weird stuff. That also is what it is. Anyway, I'm sticking on this velocity image because I'm curious about rotation. But guys, I'm just not seeing anything spinning tight. I'm not complaining about it either because it's good that we don't have anything going on. Geez, man, Bentonville and Rogers. We've had a lot. We've had a lot over the last 2 or 3 years. Place to watch for rotation is southeast of Vaughn. Place to watch for hail is over Centerton. That's Brookside Road, South Main Street, Daisy Road. There's Rainbow Farm Road and Southwest Regional Airport Boulevard. So if I zoom in on this, there's Highway 12. So this is that curve. You know where those billboards are and people don't know how to make a left or a right turn coming off of Shell Road? That's right there. So that's where the heaviest part of that storm is. And that hail core is going to move up towards downtown Bentonville. So you guys are going to get this on the square coming up. As far as Rogers goes, hmm, probably the northwest side of Rogers. I don't think it's going to get into DTR with this. I was over there earlier. You remember Erica Thomas? She was my co-anchor back in the day. Maybe she's watching me now. Probably not because she kind of just unplugged from TV as well. She's actually does communications for the Lincoln Police Department. I had lunch with Erica earlier today in downtown Rogers. There's a Tuscan Trotter over there now. I don't know if you've been over there. It was good. You got to have the truffle fries. Yeah, somebody commented earlier, Garrett, you must be hungry. I think I am. The truffle fries were good, and if you get it to where you split it, you can do like half garlic fries and garlic parmesan, and then half truffle. It was amazing. Love me some Tuscan Trotter. Anyway, this storm's not going to be over downtown Rogers. This is more uptown Rogers with this thing. Where's that hail core going, huh? Rainbow Farm Road. Again, right over Southwest Regional Airport. That's over there by Little Osage Creek. So Greenhouse Road runs north south. You can kind of take some shortcuts around here to get around because traffic is an absolute atrocity and monstrosity anywhere in Bentonville. It's horrible. Centerton's not much better. But where Greenhouse Road dumps out to Centerton Boulevard, which is essentially 102 right here, think that's kind of there's an apartment complex on the left side. I think Carvana's over here on the right. That's where this hail core is going. So that's going to track northeast up towards Rainbow Curve. There's South Walton running north here. There's Southwest I Street. This is going to come over the Bentonville Airport, downtown Bentonville, coming over the square. I haven't been to the new Five and Dime. They opened it after they destroyed it and then rebuilt it. But I want to go over there and get some ice cream because it's really good at the Spark Cafe. I just haven't made my way there yet. But that's where this storm is going. Let's get a wide view. Man, this thing's booking it, isn't it? We got look at this. This is now. So this isn't here. So I'm gonna take a quick break for a second. I want to show you guys the difference real quick. Okay. So I'm gonna turn on radar sources. I'm gonna turn on Springfield, Missouri radar, and I'm gonna zoom in and show you guys this tornado. So this is a tornado warning here in Missouri. So this is not Arkansas. But if I show you guys velocity, it's gonna make more sense. You guys can see how these reds and greens are coupled together. They're more hooked in. And if I animate it, it'll even make more sense. Watch this stuff come in on the left side of the screen. Boom, right there. So you'd be looking at a tornado right in this area here. That's southeast Springfield out towards Mentor. Frankly, it doesn't look like it's that wrapped up. And truth be told, just 'cause I can say whatever I want now. Springfield Weather Service tends to issue a lot of tornado warnings for iffy warnings. Um, our friends at the National Weather Service in Tulsa, especially Steve Piltz and Ed Calanese, they're amazing meteorologists. They issue the tornado warnings when they believe an actual tornado is occurring. Sure, better safe than sorry approach is always good. But what you'll find is when you break them down by different weather service forecast offices, you'll see outliers here and there. And the tendency is more better safe than sorry than Springfield. And the tendency for Tulsa is if we think a tornado is happening, we're going to issue a warning. There's some weather forecast office like OUN or Norman, Oklahoma. They won't even issue on these little spin up tornadoes. We call them QLCS. Here's how you can win Final Jeopardy. Quasi-linear convective system tornadoes. Those are basically squall line tornadoes. They won't issue warnings on those. And of course, a lot of it depends on the altitude of the Doppler. The Earth is round, unless you're one of those weirdos that thinks it's flat. And if so, just click the unfollow button. I don't want to deal with that. But because the Earth is round, the beam elevates with time. So as you go out into as you go out in distance, the beam gets higher. As the beam gets higher, you're sampling a larger area of the air mass. So we're looking for tornadoes, right? They're down at the surface. They're not up high. And so the farther you get away from the radar, the less reliable the radar data is. And so the Weather Service has got to take that into account too. So what I'm looking at now, and I'm gonna back up here, I'm using SRX, which is the Fort Smith radar site. And what I can do on Analyst is actually tell you guys where the radar beam is, which is kind of interesting. So if I were to look at where this is spinning, which is essentially southwest Bentonville, right in here, so I put a marker there. So the Fort Smith radar beam is 6,215 feet above the surface here. So I'm going to change radar sources real quick, give you guys an idea of what it looks like somewhere else. I'm going to change to INOLA, which is INX radar. And then I'm going to sample the same storm in the same location, put a little dot there as well, right here. And now the Tulsa radar beam is 6,133 feet. It's about the same. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference. I still think it's too high. I think we need another Doppler somewhere in North Arkansas or Southwest Missouri. But no one cares what I think because now I'm in finance and it's awesome. F&B is awesome. Um, anyway, so if I'm looking for the rotation, it is there. I see it. It's over Lockmore Club, moving northeast up towards Snyder Meadows and Thaden Field, out towards Louise. I am hungry because man, they used to have the hanger hash, and I think they renamed it something else. Can't remember what it was. I didn't have that last time. I think I had the club sandwich. It was pretty good though. Lockmore Club is where that little pocket of rotation is over, and that's moving northeast towards the links in Bentonville. So here's the home office. There's NWAC. There's the Momentary Tower. There's Crystal Bridges. Let's see where this is in terms of. Oh man, that's some heavy rain, huh? So this is out there around Kohler, Angel Falls, Stonehenge, Versailles. Looks like the heaviest is just east of Tullamore. If you like to bike and you're not from Bentonville or Fayetteville and you haven't been to Kohler yet, you guys got to spend a weekend up here. It's amazing. The trails around Kohler are phenomenal. Now some of these mountain bikers are nuts. Like they do these jumps and they're like 10 years old and they scare me even. But the mountain biking and just biking in general is phenomenal out there. It's a great place to walk too. I go out there sometimes. And they finally recovered from all those all the wind damage that we had. Wide view first, you still got the cell here. It looks like the rotation couplet, if there is one, is over the Momentary Tower now. I don't see anything that's real impressive. It actually looks like it's still just a little to the south, a little laggy. I'm going to switch back over to the radar source in Fort Smith. We could use Fort Smith or we could use Springfield. Either one doesn't matter. You saw it was about 6,000 feet above the surface regardless. Um, but I'm seeing it. Let me look here. The blue you're seeing is range folding. Like, what's that, dude? Means the data's bad. Velocity, hang on a second here, it's built up. Right there. So that's east of the Bentonville Airport. Let's go back over here real quick. Show you guys what this looks like. So this is going to be. There is a little bit of weak spin there, guys. It's not much. Does it match up with reflectivity? It kind of does. What's going on with my other monitor here? It's starting to crack out on me. I've been doing a series of posts on Substack about how local news ain't local no more. So that's been fun. But I'm working on one with hang on, this pulled up here. I'm working on one for radio. And I'm not going to publish it until I get Fred Baker's interview. And I know a lot of you guys don't know who that is, but if you grew up in Fort Smith, you know the music, you can hear it in your head right now. And once I get Fred's interview, then I'll publish it because I cannot do one on corporate radio without Fred Baker. You just can't. I mean, he's the king of local, right? New scan, here it is. Let's see. There's also a DJ there that has a meteorology degree. He goes by Race Riley on the air. His real name's Richard. I call him Richie. But he was a photographer at Channel 5 for a long time. He's a good friend of mine. He went and got his meteorology degree. So if you hear Richie playing with that Kisser music, he actually does know what he's talking about. So listen to him. What I'm trying to do off this camera, guys, is pull up a Bentonville camera. I'm just curious what it looks like. I'm going to look from 14th Street now, maybe. Oh, There it is. This is 14th looking southbound. That doesn't tell us a whole lot. It's the RDOT cam. I don't like how that looks. Let's go to another one. Again, this is right over Bentonville. The heaviest cell right now is moving over Northwest 5th Street. That's just north of Town Branch Creek along North Main. Black Apple Creek just moved over North Walton. Severe thunderstorm warning. They're calling 1 inch hail on it now. That's Northwest J over by John DeShields. So it's essentially moving right over Crystal Bridges. Let me loop this. You guys can get a look at it. Hmm. Let's see. Southbound from J Street. That's a look here from J Street. They're supposed to put an exit there eventually. While you guys are looking at that camera, I've been looking at this off camera. Huh. This is the area I'm watching. So that's Battlefield Boulevard, and there's Moberly. Battlefield and Central is right here. These are all those accidents happen all the time. I don't know why. People just need to slow down. And I think that's coming up towards East Central runs north. A wide view of this again. The tornado risk would actually be more east now. Heavy wind and rain, as well as hail from northeast Tiger up towards North Gramercy Road, Price Coffee. I love this area. It's so hilly and beautiful. It's right there along Sugar Creek. Love it. Highway 72, which they need to desperately expand because it takes forever to get to P Ridge. But some hail there. There's also some hail that's falling. This looks like it's close to Sugar Creek. It's around Dove Road. Um, what else we got over here? And the Sugar Creek Golf Course in this area too. There's South Curtis Avenue running into P Ridge, Slack Street, Weston. Here's a wider view coming into 72. So you have the neighborhood market that's here. This is the one they fly those drones out of, and not just the drones that drop stuff. These are those like the larger ones that fly. I can't remember what they call them. Unmanned aerial vehicle, obviously. But I was told once, I asked someone from Drone Up, like, what do you deliver most? And you know what it is? It's rotisserie chickens. Who knew? It's rotisserie chickens. So Walmart actually does delivery over my house. I haven't done it yet. I probably should, and when I do, I think I'm going to do a chicken. As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly. And if you know what that is, you're too old to be watching Facebook right now. Let's go back to the camera. That's looking live there. Again, that's southbound. Look how slow things got when that rain thing moved. Oh my goodness. That's J Street, guys. The big Oz Trail flag would be on the far right. For folks that are not in the area, everybody in Benton County calls everything Oz because it's magical. We live in a cool place, right? I don't know if that's really why it is. I think it has a lot to do with the Ozarks. That's why I named it Oz Weather because I thought, might as well, right? Man, it gets slow. And there's that one guy on the outside lane. I got a truck. I go 90. I'll see you in the ditch, bro. Boy, he's really coming down, isn't it? That's looking south. I'll go back to radar. Hailcore's on 49. Hailcore, if it's hailing. I think there's hail in that shot you just saw, but it's definitely heavy rain right there along Tiger J Street. We were looking right here. This is where the camera was. So here it is. There it is. There it is. So yeah, it's really coming down here, and then that's moving up to Little Flock. Apple Spur, Pleasant Hill. There's West Hudson, Highway 12. New scan. Let me back up first. So new scan's going to show us, it looks weaker now. It's the heaviest is east of Bentonville. North Rogers coming up towards Little Flock. So I'm seeing it. There's Little Flock Drive right in here. My good friends over at the Children and Family Advocacy Center, Beverly and Natalie Tibbs and Beverly Engel God. Y'all are the best people ever. They do so much for kids in our area. Love them to death. They're up here. I was on the board for a long time in this area. Here's North Dixieland. Dixieland and Hudson. I think this part of Dixieland was hit twice by tornadoes in the last year. Nuts. This one's not tornadoing. It is some heavy rain, but you guys are probably a little skittish. I don't blame you. Here's 62 running northeast, up northeast Hudson. So the Rogers Airport is right in this area. My buddy Jeff is a corporate pilot up here. He does a lot of flying in these huge jets, which is awesome because all I ever flew back in the day were Cessnas. I didn't get to fly any G7500s or anything like that, but they're sure fun to look at, aren't they? So that's the Rogers Airport's getting hit by this stuff now. Little Flock's getting it. Avoca, Apple Spur, Bentonville guys, you're on the backside of it now. North Rogers, really it's the north side of Rogers, closer to where. So there's that wonky intersection, when you turn left, it's like the one lane that's going on here, and then there's Hudson, which runs east. So essentially over that, just east of the Becker, just east of Sam's on Hudson, moving northeast up towards Pleasant Hill, and then eventually coming up 62. Beaver Lake, man, I can't wait for it to be lake season. Want to be nice to go on the lake, enjoy some sunshine. I hate winter. I hate cold weather. I don't really care for storms either. I know that's kind of a shock to all y'all, but when it's sunny and it's like 101 or 102, that's where you're gonna find a happy Garrett outside enjoying that stuff. So you got these cells here moving out. We got more to the west that are moving in. That's along the front. So we'll see what this next thing does as it moves in. Again, nothing's going on in Fort Smith right now. Nothing's going on to the south. I do think later tonight, after midnight, closer to 2 in the morning, 5 in the morning, we're going to another couple rounds that move through. I'm going to let this scan sweep both the storm here near Henrietta, and I'm going to let it sweep up towards Benton County before I shut up for this one. This is going to come back around and we'll see how this thing looks. None of these look like they have tornado potential. That one doesn't with that scan. Let's get back to the north. All right. More to the east, more doesn't look hooky-ish like it did earlier. So that's moving up towards Garfield. Heaviest is over P Ridge right now, along Patton Street. There's North Curtis, Weston Street. I think, isn't that the four-way stop right there? So you have like, was that Ace Hardware and then the Sonic? Do y'all use the Sonic app for your drinks? You really need to because it's half price, like all day. You don't have to wait till like what is it, like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, like I did in college. Don't do that. Just use the app, and it's like half price. And then you can bring everybody at work a drink, and they think you're like the best person ever, and you really only paid half. Just saying. Um. Anyway, so the Sonic and P Ridge is getting hail. I wonder if the hail is to the size of Sonic Ice because it possibly could be. Don't know if it's as chewy, and I probably wouldn't eat it because the crazy thing about hail and snow is you need condensation nuclei, really more so for snow, for that stuff to form. You have to have something base. So when you eat snow, you're actually eating dust or pollen or whatever. I don't care. My stomach, it's ingested all kinds of weird stuff. Um, Lord knows when I do this barbecue fest later this month, they better have the Tums. But but yeah, so I told my daughter that when she was eating some snow. Can we make snow ice cream? I'm like, yeah, sure. I was like, by the way, you're eating dirt. Um, it's fun. It's just fun to gross them out. Being a dad's awesome. All right, so that thing's leaving. I'm just rambling now, so I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna go see what the kids are doing, and come back in here if we get some more warnings. I plan on setting the alarm for 2. I've got to teach spin in the morning. So in the comments, if you guys want to put some songs in there for me to do, I can really torture the class in the morning. I teach spin classes over at Fitness One in Lowell, and I'm doing 2 days a week. I do Saturday mornings, and I do what am I doing? Monday nights? I think I'm doing Monday nights now when I'm not filling in. So anyway, if you have any ideas, it's mostly EDM music. I think that's where I got my love for EDM is from cycling, but I still bicycle all the time. So if you have any songs that you think I should play, put them in there. We'll torture these students in the morning. In the meantime, I'll keep an eye on the weather, guys. If anything starts to get a little nasty, I'll jump back in here and jump on. But as it stands right now, 10:37, got some storms moving in. Not a big deal. A lot of noise, a lot of rain, and a little bit of hail with it. But as it stands, no wind damage has been reported. No tornadoes have been reported. And overall, for this part of April, this time of year, actually kind of a mild event for us. And hopefully it stays that way because we will have some more tonight and then tomorrow. Plan on a soggy Easter egg hunt. That's kind of a bummer, but typically always rains around Easter around here, doesn't it? All right, it's gonna do it for me for now. I'm gonna go check on the kids and the family, and the dogs. I'm gonna see how Willow and Kihei are doing. See you guys back in a bit.